Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Picks with Jarek and Danny.
We're going to go over the current standings. Right now, I am in first place with a pick record of 9-6, which is about 60%, due to my really good performance last week where I went 4-1.
I did not have as good of a performance last week. I went 2-3, probably, which I feel as if that was probably my worst performance of the season so far.
Yep, and we've added in a third contender, the coin, which will be flipping heads and tails to determine who they pick from week to week, and hopefully both of us can stay ahead of the coin. Alright, so we're going to start with the Toronto Snowmen versus the London Legacy. And this matchup, I'm going to be going with the Snowmen. I think that Ezekiel Elliott and Doug Baldwin are going to do really good this week. Doug Baldwin especially because the Seahawks are against the Rams, and I think Seahawks will fall behind early and probably will be forced to abandon the run. So I think Doug Baldwin has a really big week.
Sorry. I, on the other hand, predicted the London Legacy because if you look at their team, for the past couple of weeks, or for pretty much the entire season, I've been giving this team grief, saying that their wins have pretty much all just been off of luck. But if you look at statistics here, they've been a top 3 scoring team for 3 weeks in a row. And now looking at their team, I still don't 100% believe that it is all. I haven't exactly bought into them being one of the best teams in the league, but I can accept the fact that James White, Carlos Hyde are really hot right now, and I think they'll pull out with the win against one of the less good teams in the Toronto Snowmen.
For sure. Alright, next we have the Monkeys against the Haciendas, and I'm going to be going with the Haciendas. Keep in mind we made these picks before any trades have happened, so I think especially after some trades that have happened, it seems like the Monkeys are really going towards tanking now, which definitely favors the Haciendas.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not really sure what I was thinking choosing the Monkeys. Now looking at it, the Monkeys have traded away practically any player of value on their team. Looking at their team, they went from it's pretty much their starting running backs are the Denver rookies. Like this team does not inspire that much confidence in anything, so I think they're going to take a handy loss to the New Mexico Haciendas. But I will be forced to stick with my decision. And it would be
if the Monkeys
it'd be incredibly funny. Yeah, it would be incredibly funny if the owner of the Shanghai Monkeys was not wearing the crop top at the end of the season.
Alright, next we got the Dragons against the Moose, and we're both choosing the Moose on this one. I think the Dragons are a really respectable team, but the Moose are just really hot right now. Alvin Kamara is the number 1 player in fantasy. David Johnson, he's come back to form, and I just think that they're the better team.
Yeah, there's pretty much. I'm also a big fan of the Tokyo Moose since they're my own team, duh. But I also like some of the other picks they've had that are starting to come to form, with Corey Davis and Sony Michel. I think they're going to be very good coming into like the next couple of weeks. But looking at the Beijing Dragons team, their team is all right, but there are some question marks at running back. Looking as Devonta Freeman is coming back, so Tevin Coleman loses a lot of value. So I think the Moose will pull out with the win.
Alright, next we have the Paris Storm versus the San Antonio Scorchers, and another double pick. We both chose the Scorchers for this one, and as we're recording this, Tom Brady's almost hit 30 points, which is the start of a really good week for the Scorchers. They also have Adrian Peterson coming back from bye, Kareem Hunt, who had a really good game, and I just think it's actually a lot more solid than I expected. I think this team's pretty good.
Me as well. I'm very excited to see what the Scorchers will do this week. I have a lot of belief in them, especially considering on the other side, the Paris Storm have been suffering from many bye weeks. Since 2 of the teams they've invested heavily into, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears, are both on bye this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Paris Storm are playing pretty much all bench players besides Yeah, because they're playing people like Corey Grant, like
Yeah.
Chester Rogers. Yeah, I think the Scorchers are going to pull out easily with this one.
All right. Lastly, we got the Boom Slangs versus the Flexers. No surprise, we both go with the Flexers. No disrespect to the Boom Slangs. I think they're a really solid team, but I just don't see any team in the league beating the Flexers right now. They're definitely favorites for the championship for sure, even this early.
Yeah, the Flexers just made another big move, like obtaining Saquon Barkley from the Monkeys. Their team just looks incredible on paper. Like they have top players in pretty much every single position, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be very hard to try to contest this team for the rest of the season.
Yep.
On the other hand, the Boomslings are solid, but I have faith that the game will be a little closer. It won't be like a complete blowout, but I think that the Boomslings are just heavily disadvantaged.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Nextly, we're gonna be going into some of our bonus predictions. So my first one, it might not be the most unique prediction, but I think the Scorchers blow out the Storm this week. The Storm, they're bye week ridden. They're starting to fall, while the Scorchers are on the opposite trajectory. They're really starting to make a rise, and I think this is the start of a possible Scorchers win streak, maybe.
So my first prediction was that the Boomslangs would trade Michael Thomas. This is just from what I've been hearing around the league.
It's
I know
from
that
the beat reporters rumors.
yes, yes, I know that the Boomslangs are very readily looking to upgrade their team. I'm not quite sure what exactly they're looking for. I couldn't say. From what I hear, they either want better wide receivers, which wouldn't really make sense to me if they're trading away one of the best wide receivers in the game right now for better wide receivers. But you never know what they'll do. So, but I think that they're going to
Yeah.
trade Michael Thomas
Keep a
sometime
close eye
soon.
on the Boomslangs beat reporters. All right, next we got the Legacy versus the Snowmen. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than projected. I think I've already gone over a lot of the points when I explained why I thought the Snowmen would pull it out. But mainly, it's gonna be Doug Baldwin, Ezekiel Elliott putting up really big weeks, really big points this week, and that's why I think it's gonna be pretty close, even if they don't win.
My second prediction is making me feel pretty dumb right about now. Monkeys versus Hachi are discussing the projected. I don't honestly, as of right now that we're recording this on a secret date, I do not believe in this at all anymore. But I'm gonna have to stick to my word. So I think that the Monkeys versus Hachi in this is gonna be closer than predicted, just because Matt has such bad luck and everyone always scores high against him. So it'll be really funny to see.
Or if Matt loses, that would be very
Oh my
funny.
god. If Matt loses, that would be the funniest thing to ever
That'd be
happen this
gold.
season.
All right. Lastly, I think the Flexers make a big trade this week, and I actually made this prediction before the Saquon Barkley trade, and my prediction came true, so I'm already 1 for 1 on this week. But Flexers did make a big trade. They traded 3 first-round picks for Saquon Barkley, and I was correct in my prediction there.
Um, my prediction is that the London Legacy will be a top 3 scorer for the fourth week in a row. I thought this was actually a relatively easy prediction to make, considering just the fact that all the players on their team have been very hot, and it's hard. Like I always talk about them being lucky, but I'm just kind of starting to buy into their team,
Yeah,
and I think that this will also be another good week for them. Just looking at their matchups
yeah.
for their
Carlos Hyde,
for
not
their
quite there,
players.
but I actually think James White's a pretty legitimate running back, especially in a PPR league.
Yeah, he already has 18.7 points
Mm-hmm.
right now, so yeah, they're going to be pretty good.
All right. Lastly, we have the coins predictions. They're gonna go with the Snowmen over the Legacy, the Haciendas over the Monkeys, the Dragons over the Moose, the Scorchers over the Storm, and the upset of the week. They're gonna choose the Boomslangs over the Flexers.
Ooh.
So will the coin go 5-0 with this week? We don't know, but make sure you find out on the next episode of Weekly Picks with Danny and Jarek.
Goodbye.